Okay, I do feel like I've somewhat glossed over what's happened to the kitchen. So as a recap, I thought I was going to keep it as it was, but then it turns out the leak that's been happening in this corner got into the cabinets, so they all had to be taken out. So as a result, we're moving the sink. Well, I'll go into the plan, but basically it looks bad, but it is in progress and there is a plan. So I just thought I would run through the plan because currently it just looks like I've ripped out a kitchen for no reason. So time-wise, we're between the electrician has been, but the roof has yet to be fixed. So I don't want to get too into putting things here until that leak is completely resolved. But basically, yeah, so all the switches have been changed over. So there is plug sockets. They do have covers, I just haven't put them on because next step is to fix some of the tiling that got broken in the electric. But okay, so we're keeping these cabinets. Well, I'm keeping these cabinets if I can for like the next at least couple of years, at least so I can move in, get it all sorted. And then this cabinet used to be here, but this one is new to fill in a gap. So what's going to happen on this side is the worktop was fine up to about here, where the edge of the sink used to be. So we've chopped that down, so it's going to run to about here. So there's going to be a slimline dishwasher, which I've inherited from my sister, who she inherited from my uncle. The sink's going to go over this one, so my dad is just doing the pipe work. I have no idea, if I'm honest, about what's happening or why, but he seems real confident, so that's going to happen. And then, oh, sorry, things are dropping. And then this is going to be the washing machine, and then there'll be an open gap here, so I need to work out what to fill that with. That's going to have the fridge freezer and maybe bins or recycling or something like that. So what happened was, when the electrician came in, so all of these wires here, they found out that some of the floorboards were a bit rotted, but he said it wasn't getting any worse. So at some point in the past, there was a leak. There isn't any more for that one. That was probably an old sink that leaked, and then just no one realised that it had penetrated through the floor. So my dad has very kindly, fitted some new floorboards there. But there is, because it's a very old house, and it's been landlord specialed a lot. So there is there's like layers of floorboard, then plywood, then these, which are vinyl tiles. So I do have some extras so I can fill it in, but it's getting the level right, yeah? So there's this, hang on, you might be able to see. This is floorboard underneath, and then there's this, and then there's this, and then there's vinyl. So also in the past, instead of altering the legs on cabinets, they've like cut holes out, so there are a lot of points in the floor that are different levels, which is helpful. Oh, hang on, you can't really see there because we pulled them all out, but I don't know if you can kind of see. So here they've cut a hole out of the plywood and then duct taped the leg into it. So that was fun taking that out. So the next thing to do, obviously my dad's going to plumb up the sink there. He's going to leave these ones here just in case I do want to get, in future when I'm a millionaire, get a fridge with an ice machine on so it can be plumbed in. But he seems real confident about that, so we're just going to let him do that. I'm going to keep the old sink, which is here, because I do love a sink and a half, but I did have to get a new tap because the old one didn't have a handle, I guess. Like you could work it by grabbing the base and then twisting it, but that's not ideal. I'll show you the new tap in a minute, but it's been bought, so it's ready to go in. And then my dad is just reconfiguring this because there is a drain outside here. So I'm kind of thinking of this as the wet side of the kitchen. So all the utilities that use water will be on this side, and he's going to plumb them all in. Seems very confident he can do it. It frankly sounds like he's speaking a different language when he tells me, but I believe him. We've got confidence. So then the next thing is trying to fix the tiles after the electrician's been in. Sorry, I'm obsessed with this. It's got what the switch controls on the actual switch. Very nice. But anyway, so because he destroyed some tiles when he was putting this in, which we knew was going to happen, I thought it'd be a quick job, just find more tiles, fill in the holes. But it turns out these are old tiles, so they're on imperial. So these tiles are 6 inches, but most modern tiles are in metric, so they're 150 mil. So I do have in here is kind of a box of the leftover tiles, so I need to soak them, see what I've got, get the adhesive off, and then you can kind of see where I've been playing around with what will fit in what hole. Basically, this is the kind of, this sort of shows you the problem. They're kind of close, but not quite. So I think I'm not sure I'll be able to find what I need in black, so I think I might have to paint the tiles. So yeah, there are only limited tile colour options. So where did I do it? I did a test run in an inconspicuous corner of trying to remove the grout, but what actually happened is the second you scratch the tile, it goes white. So I don't know. I don't think they've been painted, but it isn't, what's it called? It isn't gonna, trying to remove the grout is kind of a bit of a no-go, which isn't ideal because the grout wasn't done great to start off with. So I think long-term, they need to either be tiled over or removed and then retiled. But short-term, what I might do is just get white tiles, fill in the hole, and then paint the whole lot. I could do with some input on colour. So tile paint only really comes in black, white, sort of a grey colour, which I think is my preference, or like a dark blue. But then I've got these cabinets, and this one, sorry to move around a lot, this one down here is going to have the same colour door. So I do like the style, but I'm not convinced on the colour. So if I go with grey tile, I don't know what colour to go with for cupboards. I do quite like the warm tone thing, but it may be a bit pale. I don't know. Obviously I'm going to change out the handles, but for now they're fine. There are bigger priorities at this exact second. I don't know, my instinct would be to go with green, but then as you may see in other videos, I've started painting a lot of other rooms green, and I don't want this to be a completely green house. So any input will be appreciated. I think this brown might need to get changed over, only because on this side, where I've got a new cabinet, I don't know if you can see, the edges are white here and the edges are brown here. So I might need to cover that up just so it looks a bit matchier. But yeah, so sorry, the tile here inside this section, so this is just casing for the hot water pipes to go upstairs. But then this bit, because I'm going to have a fridge, I need to do something from the wall, the bottom of the tile, sorry, down, and then something on the floor, because it'll be a bit visible where it's going to be a freestanding fridge and where the bin is, just to make sure it's, you know, clean. I can't have this behind my bin because, well, one, it will drive me nutty, and two, I don't think you can clean that. So just generally, I'm going to paint that white while I figure out what to do, because there's a lot of these big holes. So this is the old drain from the sink. This, I don't know if you can see, is the, what's it called? The plumbing to that radiator. So I think my dad is convinced that he can drop it down under the floor, and then it'll be less of an issue, so we can have that whole wall be smooth and clean. Yeah, I think I've been quite lucky in inheriting some appliances. So like I said, I've got the dishwasher from my sister, washing machine from my sister. I'm not sure how well that will travel. The only thing I actually need to buy is a freestanding fridge. So I've been living in rented places that I haven't needed to buy my own fridge so far. So that's a new experience. I did not realise how expensive they are. I think my dream of having a fridge with an ice maker is a bit further away than I thought, but good to know, good to have a plan. The other one is when we got the electrics done, for future-proofing, we got what's it called? An FCU, like a control unit that goes into the cupboard up here. So eventually I can put in an extractor fan, like a cooker hood, I guess. But in the meantime, I don't have one of those, so it's just blank. So I could use that for something like lighting along the top. It is a weird ceiling, but just in lighting generally, sorry, while I'm on that thought, it has been rewired, but they rewired in the old light fitting. So I don't know options wise. Oh gosh, sorry, I hit a pole and then I fell over a bag. There is sort of the option, I kind of like, do you know the lights where they are kind of a pole with spotlights that can be moved around, and I've seen quite a nice one at IKEA, but I'm not totally convinced I know what I'm doing colour wise, so I don't really want to commit to a light fitting right this second. I think it will probably have to be brushed stainless to match all the electrical, which I promise do have, we do have the plates for them. They're just not put on right now because the next thing to do is tiling and I don't want to get adhesive on them. But yeah. Oh, I'll show you the tap. The tap is here. Isn't she pretty? So it's just got the one thing that goes around. But I'm a fan. Okay, that is the kitchen update. Okay, bye.